Hey yo everybody, it's me, Fitness65. I'm back. Haven't made a video in a while, so I just want to give my quick thoughts about the WrestleMania 29 card. Really, wrestling over before I get to the WrestleMania, my thoughts on the WrestleMania 29 card. Really, wrestling just hasn't really given me that buzz to make wrestling videos. I usually make wrestling videos most when I was making videos, but wrestling, I just haven't really gotten into wrestling like I did last year or the year before to where I was making videos. I don't know what it is. It's just I just haven't been feeling wrestling as of late, but something probably will change and probably get me back into wrestling. But lately, just haven't been in the mood of watching wrestling. But hopefully something changes and gets me back into watching wrestling. Who knows whether it might be the WWE doing something really big, or TNA doing something really big, or one of the independent wrestling scenes doing something big to get me into it. But lately I just haven't been getting into wrestling, so just haven't been making as many videos as I have. And when it comes to other stuff, there just really hasn't been much to talk about, which is why I really haven't made videos in a while. But I'm here, and I'm just going to give you my quick thoughts about the WrestleMania 29 card. Really, I'm not really that excited about WrestleMania 29. The build hasn't really been that good. To me, it's sort of how they built WrestleMania 27 up. WrestleMania 27 and have really no good build to it other than The Rock being one of the special guest hosts for WrestleMania. WrestleMania 26 didn't really have no good build to it, or it was 20. No, it was 28. 28 didn't really have no good build to it, other than The Rock versus John Cena. There was no match that really had no good build going into it. With yeah, and then there was The Undertaker versus Triple H. But other than those two matches, there was no other match that really had no build going into it, and that's kind of how I feel about WrestleMania 29. There's really the build hasn't really been good. Some of the matches are pretty much rematches from either last year's WrestleMania or from SummerSlam of last year, and this card just really hasn't gotten me excited about ordering WrestleMania. I mean, look at the card. I mean, you got Rock versus John Cena, a rematch from WrestleMania. I mean, no one really wants to see that matchup. I mean, maybe the casual fan, but this match is just happening to make money, and nobody really cares about this matchup. Everyone knows that John Cena is going to go over The Rock and take the WWE title and have another multitude WWE title run. Nobody wants to see that. If it were me, instead of doing John Cena versus Rock again for the second time, I would have Rock versus Brock Lesnar because of the buzz. I mean, you got Rock, who's the a leading man in Hollywood, versus Brock Lesnar, one of the big names that was in UFC, who just left UFC, and he had a big buzz from last year, and you just had those two collide, and there you go. And I'm pretty sure those two would have a really good matchup against each other. Those two had a good matchup at SummerSlam, which was probably one of my favorite matchups between those two. I mean, which is probably one of my favorite wrestling matches of all time. I mean, it wasn't just the wrestling in that matchup, it was the crowd. The crowd was really into that matchup, and I have a feeling they'll be into that matchup again at WrestleMania 29 if that match were to happen. I mean, just think of that buzz. Think of the buzz between those two right there. Brock Lesnar versus The Rock. That match, those two names alone will sell WrestleMania and get people talking about WrestleMania again or wrestling again. But the WWE decided not to go that route, so we got John Cena versus The Rock again, which no one really is looking forward to, mainly me. You got Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, and from the stipulation that I heard, if Triple H loses, then he has to retire. I mean, we've seen that stipulation done so many times with Triple H, so no one really cares, and no one really cares about this matchup because it's really a rematch from SummerSlam of last year. The build up to this matchup has been good, but then lately they've been kind of slowing down with the build up, so really it hasn't really gotten me excited about this matchup. Then you got matches like Team Hell No versus Dolph Ziggler, and I keep forgetting that guy's name, but that's those two. If it were me, I would have had Kane and Bryan Danielson go up against the Shield for the tag team titles, and have the Shield go over and establish the Shield as one of the most dominant groups in the WWE right now. As WWE's been pushing that group real big, real good. The Shield hasn't lost any matches lately, hasn't lost any matches that they've been in, and you have them take the titles and you give that team more power than what they have, but they didn't do that, so now we're getting this matchup, and then we're getting a six-man tag match with Sheamus, Big Show, and Randy Orton against the Shield. Again, like I said, if it were me, I would have did the Shield versus Team Hell No, but WWE didn't want to go that route, and now we're getting some thrown together matchup between the Shield against Randy Orton, Big Show, and Sheamus. This matchup should be okay, but really not looking forward to it. I'm hearing rumors that it's going to be Chris Jericho against Fandango or whatever that guy's name is. That's the rumor that I'm hearing. That matchup should be okay, but this matchup, all this matchup is going to do is it's really just a stepping stone for Chris Jericho to put over this new character. That's all this matchup is, and I'm pretty sure Chris Jericho has no problem with it. But really, a match that should be on the card at WrestleMania. Chris Jericho should be wrestling Dolph Ziggler or somebody of that caliber instead of wrestling this Fandango character. Also, I'm hearing rumors of The Miz versus Wade Barrett. Really, a match I'm not looking forward to, and it's really And then there's other matches like a Divas matchup that they're thinking about doing, and then there's other matches like that. Really, overall, I'm just not really feeling this WrestleMania 29 card. There's no match that really stands out. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention CM Punk versus The Undertaker, which should be a good matchup, but really, again, CM Punk should be facing Ryback if it were me, I would have did CM Punk versus The Undertaker, with CM Punk's WWE long title reign against The Undertaker's streak would have added more buzz. But then again, we all know that The Undertaker is going to disappear after WrestleMania, so there really would have been no point of doing that. But if it were me, I would have had CM Punk versus Ryback if they wanted to keep the title on CM Punk. I mean, if I were to keep the title on CM Punk, I would have did CM Punk versus Ryback, have Ryback go over, have Ryback have whatever reign they were going to give him, and there you go. Have CM Punk get his just ends at WrestleMania and have him lose the title, but they didn't go that route, and they went the route that they went. And then there's some other matches that I'm hearing, but those matches that I mentioned those matches are going to be on the card, and everyone already knows about. Like I said, I'm just really not feeling this WrestleMania 29 card. There's really no match that stands out and makes me want to say, hey, I want to order WrestleMania. The buzz and the build-up just really hasn't been that good. I wish the WWE would have built this WrestleMania up more and just would have gave this WrestleMania a feel-good WrestleMania moment where like they did previous WrestleManias, like, hey, you got to see this WrestleMania. Hey, there's this one match that's gonna get everybody talking and make everybody want to see WrestleMania. There's just really no match on this card that gives you that feeling or gives you that justification where, hey, I want to see this WrestleMania because of this one match. There's just really no match like that. But we'll have to see if WrestleMania delivers. There's been some WrestleManias where the build-up hasn't really been that good, but WrestleMania ended up delivering. I mean, there's been a couple WrestleManias like that, but who knows? This WrestleMania just might surprise us, and it might be good. But I'm just really not feeling this WrestleMania, and the card just really doesn't seem that sexy to me. But who knows? The delivery and the matches just might surprise everybody, and this WrestleMania might end up being better than what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much my quick thoughts about WrestleMania 29. And just me being back and letting you know, giving you an update about me, and letting you know that I'm going to be making videos from time to time whenever I get the chance. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I wish I could have talked better than how I usually talk, but that's just kind of rusty since I haven't made a video in a while. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts about the WrestleMania 29 card. Give me your thoughts about some of the matches. Give me your thoughts about the build-up, and let me know what you think about the video. And until then, whenever I decide to make another video, or whenever I upload another video, hopefully, whatever video it is, hopefully you enjoy that video. But yeah, until then, Fitness 65 out, and Thank you for watching, and I'm out. Peace.